Hello everybody, hello guys, hi girls, hi everybody else, and welcome to Series 1, Episode 6 of My Favourite Things. That's right, this is the last episode of Series 1 of My Favourite Things. Don't worry, the series will return later on in the year. I hope you've enjoyed everything that we've gone through. Before we get started, can I ask you first of all to please like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube page and help feed the starving musician. That would be absolutely wonderful. And before we go any further, can I ask you to take some time out of your day to head over to FletcherSteve.com, my website, where you'll find numerous resources constantly being updated and uploaded to assist the budding bedroom guitar player. Now today we are going to be going through my top 5 guitar-based film soundtracks. So that's film soundtracks that have got an overriding amount of guitar in them. Now you don't often associate the guitar with the film soundtrack. Whenever you sort of think about film soundtracks, you think of, sweeping orchestral scores and choral moments that take your breath away and all that kind of stuff. It's not very often that you see the guitar or hear it. Also, I thought this one has actually turned out to be, I thought this was going to be easy. And so, but the more I looked into it, the more I was like, oh God, there's that. Oh wow, there's that. Oh, and then there's that. How am I going to get that in there? So I've actually decided, for the sake of my own sanity, to split this particular theme, film soundtracks, into a part 1 and a part 2. Part 2 will be revealed in a further series, so you're going to have to check things out later on. So what we're going to talk about first? Well, we're going to go into full 80s cheese with this first one. This was actually quite an important one for me. This is, the Top Gun soundtrack. The original motion picture score for Top Gun. So the film, the main score, and of course, from a guitar playing point of view, I'm really considering the Top Gun theme in this. I've done a video, a guitar playing tuition video for this theme because I love it so much. You can find a link for that in the description. But yeah, written by Harold Faltermeyer. The guitar was played on the Top Gun theme by session guitarist Steve Stevens. And because it's so awesome, it won the Grammy for Best Pop Instrumental Performance. Another one that is really worth mentioning, which I, again, really, really love, is the song Memories, which features Okay, next we are heading into Black Klansman. Now, this is a rarity for me. This is one of those rare things. I read the book before I actually saw the film. It is a phenomenally good book. It's a phenomenal true story. And it is a phenomenal film. If I say nothing else, that's all you really need to take away, is watch the film, read the book. It's amazing. But the soundtrack, of course, is what we're talking about. The soundtrack was by Terence Blanchard, Terence Blanchard has released numerous jazz recordings with his own ensemble. Absolutely phenomenal musician. Now, the recurring melody culminates, for me, in the epically brilliant Blood and Boden, which is Blood and Soil, which really does cut loose with the guitar playing. And it won the Grammy for the Best Instrumental Composition. Damn right it did, because it is a terrific piece of music. But there it is, the Black Klansman soundtrack, particularly Blood and Boden, or Blood and Soil, is phenomenal. Check it out. Okay, so next we are sticking with another favourite of mine. This is the Brokeback Mountain soundtrack. And the main soundtrack was written by Argentinian composer Gustavo Santaolalla, and it's beautiful. Santaolalla has won 2 consecutive Oscars for his soundtracks, Brokeback Mountain, of course, being one of them. The main Brokeback Mountain themes, there are 3 of them, are a brilliant exercise in sort of minimalist songwriting. And he manages to tap absolutely brilliantly into the sort of country and western feel of the film with these pieces. It brings out acoustic guitars, a gorgeous sprinkling of lap steel for good measure, and enormous amounts of reverb to really make those minimalist notes sing out. And we've also got the equally beautiful opening theme, snow, riding horses, and my personal favourite, wings, which concludes the soundtrack. It's a wonderful soundtrack, a well-worthy Oscar win, a well-worthy addition to my list. Great soundtrack, wonderful soundtrack to a phenomenal film. Alright, so next we are going into Local Hero by Mark Knopfler. Is it a coincidence that I'm a huge Mark Knopfler fan and this soundtrack has made it onto my list? Who knows? But it is a great one. And I suppose, actually, the more I sort of looked into this one, you could consider it a bit of a lost Dire Straits album, actually. Members of Dire Straits performed on the album along with Knopfler, particularly on the main theme that we all know so well. But that main theme then was actually featured prominently in pretty much every Dire Straits show ever since. It's one of those films, Local Hero, that it's just a lovely film to watch on a Sunday afternoon and you're like, oh, that was really nice. It really is great. But as a soundtrack, from a guitarist point of view, it's a big win. So it's a worthy addition to this list. All right, so finally we are heading into A Star Is Born. This soundtrack, it swept the boards critically, commercially, in a way that no film soundtrack has probably done since Saturday Night Fever. More on that bad boy in part 2. The soundtrack features numerous songs written exclusively for the film. It's a great soundtrack. There's some great songs on it. I have to give a shout out to one of my favourite artists, Lucas Nelson and The Promise of Real. Lucas Nelson features in the film as a member of Bradley Cooper's band. So check out Lucas Nelson and Promise of Real. They're a brilliant band. So you get things like Always Remember Us This Way from Lady Gaga. Maybe It's Time, the brilliant Maybe It's Time by Bradley Cooper. But of course, you can't even think of the film A Star Is Born without immediately thinking of the song Shallow, which was the big ticket song on the soundtrack, and it's brilliant. It quite rightly deserved its Oscar, its Grammy, its Golden Globe. The list goes on. Wins for Best Song. And, we can all remember that great Oscar moment where Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper sang it together live. It's brilliant. It's one of my favourites. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you ever so much for taking the time out to check out this whole series. Please head over to FletcherSteve.com. In particular, check out my blog where I go into a lot more detail about all of the episodes of my favourite things. There is also a forthcoming podcast which will also feature extended editions of my favourite things, plus other such magical guitar playing nonsense for you to enjoy. That's a forthcoming series, and of course, by the time you're watching this, it might be a now series. Who knows? So please stay in touch one way or another. You can grab hold of me via my website. You can grab hold of me via Facebook, Instagram, oodles of social media. It's all there for you to enjoy. We'll see you in the next series, and take care.